Hey, let me get the stream sound up. Sorry for the delay. Some odd reason I had trouble logging to or have my game find the Relic servers. If I can't hit the Relic servers, I literally can't hit multiplayer and hit game history and for the replays, which is something I was not expecting. Either way, let me just go ahead and get everything set on. Here's one. Up, thumbnails up to date. Double check there. That is good. Pick is going. Is going. Rumble is going. Okay. And let me double check my other computer, make sure that's all going. Oops, I forgot this. You're not escaping my face. That should be fine. As set on up, let me just double check my other computer. Yep, looks like it's going good. So let's go ahead and get started. First got a handful of replays. And no, let's do these three here. We'll do a couple of 1v1s and finish off the day with a 2v2. I don't even really want to know what this one is. So let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Copy Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on the south side as the US forces, or Wehrmacht forces, we have Techno. Spawn on the north side as the US forces, we have 69. Engineers being plotted on field, we do got more Pioneers coming on out, going for 3 Pioneer opener, eyeing for the Wehrmacht quarters. This map is a little bit large, so extra Pioneers and or Engineers would be helpful capturing up quite a bit of sectors. There's basically like 3 major lanes. The right side, center, and left, which tends to be the norm because the VPs are usually left, middle, right. Though sometimes they're both on one side, which tends to make it so people heavily focus on that side. And whoever captures the other side tend to get a lot of resources without really a contestation. Schimmelwagen now being employed on a field versus probably a squad of riflemen. Though we could see a Jeep, let's see. Is a squad of riflemen, and he has gone for only 2 engineers. Sorry, you may hear my drink opening on up. Pioneers have deployed out some wire there, and now do have these engineers capture up these sector as well. You see here, the engineers are capturing up the right side. Looks like the US players eyeing for the right side. And that will forfeit the left side to the Wehrmacht player. One Pioneer, Schimmelwagen now advancing on forward. Pioneers over here, and we already got a Pioneer into the map. This is a Pioneer wire. He did push forth the Pioneers to get this wire up to deny that heavy cover, as well as the avenue of approach. Rifleman squad will overrun the Pioneers. They did not capture the point. It's just a regular strategic point there. No resources will be benefited for taking extra damage to capture it on up. So it's probably a good idea he abandoned it and goes straight for the VP. Schimmelwagen does see a bit of damage there, starting to fall back now. Rifleman in pursuit. And down here we do have the Pioneers captured at that point. This Pioneer squad is captured, or no longer captures up the VP as well. Backing on off to this fuel point. Capturing it up will not net any resources, but he could actually push forward a bit and put a bit of wire there, help deny any sort of flanking capture. Though tend to be engineers that will capture the flanks there, and engineers of course can cut wire. Pioneers leave quite a bit of damage. This Pioneer squad needs to fall back. He got knocked down, probably killed off by his own Schimmelwagen, honestly. Though it is a minor loss, but it is still important capping squad at this point in the stage of the game. No additional riflemen being put on the field because currently has 2. We'll like to go 3 or 4. Shimmerwagen does find a bit of burst there. Pioneer's back in the corner, receiving a bit of fire. He may want to fall back right about now. And this Shimmerwagen received quite a bit of damage there. It does fall back now. Shimmerwagen may want to fall back as well to get repairs on up. It took a bit of damage. Volksgrenadiers advancing forward. He's focused on the engineers before taking any additional damage themselves. And the engineer squad does fall back. Volksgrenadiers still appear to be at full health. Now he's trying to go ahead and take out this engineer, which would be a nice little pick. He does get a bit of interruption there. And he does actually cut a little opening there. Shimmerwagen may or may not be able to get through there. I'm not sure. Pioneers now seeing some fire from the rifle squad. Does get forced back. And does lose it as well. So he's down to 1 Pioneer, doesn't he? We now have an MG42 pull on the field. Volksgrenadier eyeing for a bit of heavy cover. The placement on heavy cover means it could be used against him. He could kind of take those Volksgrenadiers and put a bit of wire there to make sure that it's going. MG42 does set up along the flank as well. And MG42 does find a burst there to suppress down the riflemen. Volksgrenadiers and Shimmerwagen now advancing forward and able to go ahead and force them back. Right now, the Varrock player does have 3215 income. His opponent does have... Oops, that is the... That switch person that's fast forward. Looks like the US player has more fuel income, less munitions income. Good to know. And the rifle squad does receive a bit of damage there as well. Rifle squad is now falling on back. And right now, you can see quite a bit of fuel control for the US player. Decapturing this cutoff point will deny this fuel income. This is why the US player has such a high fuel income compared to his opponent. And we can see here, the munition sector has been largely captured by the Wehrmacht player, while the US player has a couple sectors not secured, though the munitions point is also captured up as well. So, probably a very similar munitions camp at the moment. Engineers capture this fuel point as well, and Polygon eye for the VPs. Both sides still have 500 VPs, so move to right there. And now Volksgrenadiers trying to quickly lay down some wire themselves. Volksgrenadiers do get interrupted, and they actually destroyed one of the wire there, the riflemen. The Serpent Squad now seeing a bit of fire there from Volksgrenadiers, who does have a bit of heavy cover there, allow him to fight successfully. 2 Volksgrenadiers pull on the field, 1 sniper as well. Shimmerwagen has been repaired on up. And this rifle squad of bars have been suppressed. A bit of damage there. This rifle squad still engaged the Volksgrenadier, though a bit wounded. This rifleman squad does get pinned. This rifle squad is advancing on 4, so he has 4 rifle squads on the field. This rifle squad trying to flank the MG42, but got the Volksgrenadiers and the Shimmerwagen in this region. And the rifle squad needs to fall back sooner rather than later. This Volksgrenadier does fall back, down to minimal health there. That rifle squad does get wiped out by the sniper. And you have an engineer back at home as well for the US player. Rifle squad is advancing on forward. You have this rifle squad has recovered suppression. MG42 self-retreating. Sniper does fall back. Volksgrenadier severely wounded. The Shimmerwagen is now dead. MG42's squad get overran. Does fire a bit of a volley over here. Getting kills and not suppression. He does fall back now. He may actually get wiped out. There's a lot of fire there. It does interrupted by the Volksgrenadier. He does save the MG42. Volksgrenadier getting inside this garrison. Does have 2 windows inside. The other 2 windows over here firing. Not a perfect garrison, but decent enough garrison. And he does find an angle to hit this rifleman with these 2 windows there. You know how the creeks or the conflict center not going on up. The rifleman squad does fall back.
Attention. The enemy advances.
A lot of wounded rifleman squads, 3 Volksgrenadiers on the field. Maybe going to go for the casualty recovery bunker sooner rather than later.
Defensive operations.
Defensive operations, which means he's gone for infantry company and supply yards on the way, and likely going straight for a motor pool. Could go for tank depot, but unlikely. Volksgrenadiers advancing forward. The Rifle squad does fall back. Good chance he will get wiped out. The wire has been replaced. Rifleman goes down and drops himself a bar. He really dropped a bar, eh? Wehrmacht landmine right there. Is it fully built? Wehrmacht landmine's not fully built there. We do have this engineer in the sector just behind the carcass of the glider. Right now, the US player maintaining good field control. Of course, did lose a rifleman, so he's down to 3. Motor pool on the way. Do now the not assault phase, skirmish phase being researched. Fast Greyhound's probably going to be very useful right now, especially seeing with our cast division. We know he's not have a Pack 30 out on the field. He's going for Veteran 1 Volksgrenadiers, very good. Skirmish phase complete. Is this Pioneer back home? Does get a bunker there. Wait, that's not a catch recovery bunker. That's a Goliath. Devil. Recommend making their advance. Does this get damage on the Volksgrenadiers? I think he went for the Veteran on the Volksgrenadiers, seeing his opponents went for the bars, trying to contest them a little bit better. Sniper does find a shot there. Volksgrenadier will escape on out of there. Goliath now advancing on forward, trying to get a bit of damage there on the rifleman. And he couldn't get a good angle to pursue them, so he decides not to blow it up, which is probably a good idea. Wehrmacht landmine. Found. Even go ahead and explode something on the cart there. Oh, howdy. Yep. Well, you're going to have to sit through and suffer my bad commentary. Greyhound not pulling a few, but likely we'll see armor skirts relatively soon. No, it's going to 50 cal before armor skirts. Most of you go for the armor skirts first, so he doesn't get any small arms damage. Both Grenadiers could get Panzerfaust off there. Does roll a miss. Panzerfaust connect, and oh, look, this is why you get armor skirts first. He's almost dead. He also kills off the gunner. Goliath now advancing forward. Sniper sees a fire there. Goliath. He may have the. Does destroy the Goliath there. Goes to the sniper. Volksgrenadiers get off of Panzerfaust. That could kill off. Does it get a shot off there? Does this one get the shot off? Oh, he finds a landmine there. Destroyed engine crit. Does have armor skirts now available. He's just trying to repair it up. Focus on the engineers. Maybe rush forward for the Panzerfaust. Oh, he gets the instant engine repair crit. And that is why in Company Heroes 2, landmine crits only get repaired at full health. Because that really should have killed off the Greyhound, but he got an engine crit rather than a death crit.
We're losing a munitions point for orders.
It's artillery support waiting for orders. That sounds like off my horror shoot, but the mission sector decapped at the same time. Makes me wonder if he actually got the M2, but it's probably the alpha power shoot at this moment in time. Flame Engineer could get wiped out, does not. Rifle squads are in the region, force back the Volksgrenadiers. And there is a Wehrmacht landmine now. Place on down. Fuel control is relatively even, bit more fuel for the US player, more munitions for the Wehrmacht player. We do have another Greyhound being put on the field. That is Heavy Greyhound.
Enemy unit down.
And one less Pioneer. He does have that. Maybe there's only one. No, he did get another one. Volksgrenadiers push forward. Or Riflemen. Volksgrenadiers get annihilated. MP42 fire and weight. No upgrade on this bunker. This may be the. Yep, that's the fresh Greyhound. Don't see the armor skirts researched. He's on advance on forward. Armor skirts on the way. Do we see Panzerschrecks or Pack 30 on the build queue? I wonder if you realize that is a second Greyhound, because there was no armor skirts there to notify his opponent that it was actually a different Greyhound. Out of curiosity, did you know that was a second Greyhound at the moment?
That's the eye of the Reich
Seeing you're
that
in
surveys
the
battlefield.
chat. Wait, can I just see? Okay, that was a Volksgrenadier model. I think I just saw a Volksgrenadier model play teleport. Greyhound advancing forward. I suppose at this point in time he knows it's the second Greyhound now. Pioneer not getting annihilated. We do got the defensive doctrine now active because see all of the pinto mounts and plus the big for the fatherland button there. Ooh, landmine. I think that was a Greyhound landmine there. Detonates by the Volksgrenadiers. Allowing the Pack 38 not get blown up by it. Pack 38 line up a shot there. Rolls a miss there. They don't see landmines in retreat. This Greyhound advancing forward could receive a Azafaus. We do have, or he's actually a bit low in munitions, so maybe not. We do, of course, got the MG42 side of the garrison there. This Greyhound's falling back. No landmine in that direction, although there is one there. There's that veteran C2 on some Volksgrenadiers as well. No, not age up. Battle phase increase to get out a Stud. We're probably going to eye for just the Pack 38 singular at the moment. Got a bit of heavy cover there by the Volksgrenadier. This Volksgrenadier advances to have some heavy cover there as well. Created by the exploded Goliath. Fires the pants across the river, in which this landmine, he could potentially hit it if he takes a pathing over it. So if he goes this way, maybe not. Oh no. Okay, he does miss it. M2 howitzer now deployed on field. Another Greyhound, and the Greyhound's getting repaired on up. Rifleman, Flame Engineer, and Rifleman advancing forward. One rifleman's at Veteran C1. Flame Engineer does get some good damage there onto the Volksgrenadiers. Pack 38 has been decrewed. He's trying to get reinforced by the bunker. This Volksgrenadier is fighting from heavy cover there. This Volksgrenadier does get reinforced. MG42 should be in range. There he goes, starts firing away. Flame Engineers advance forward, trying to get some clock bursts onto this Volksgrenadiers. Volksgrenadiers need to fall back sooner rather than later. Greyhound advancing forward. Pack 38 not recaptured. He needs to get that recaptured. Iron for Panzerfaust. He's eyeing for a Grenadier. He's a bit far away from the Panzer, however. The Volksgrenadiers who fall back, Pack 38 gets destroyed. Engineers do fall back. There's main control of these two munitions point over here, so the Wehrmacht munitions income is much better, though this one has been captured by his opponent, so it's probably relatively similar. 37 to 32. Yep, similar. Slight advantage, but nothing too significant. These munitions points are also plus 10s. And now it is the same. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers advance forward. Flame Engineers should be forced back relatively soon. Could potentially get wiped out. Does get wiped out. Grenadiers now pursuing the Riflemen. Handshake on the build queue as well. Over here we do have the Greyhound, Veteran C1. Volksgrenadiers, Veteran C2 behind the heavy cover there, but does get overrun by the Riflemen. And Riflemen do get drawn into that MG42. Riflemen's fighting from this heavy cover there. Grenadiers doing some good work. This Rifle Squad does get suppressed. MG42 just trying to reposition away from the Riflemen. I'm not sure why this barrage is hitting there. Oh, another M2 deployed on the field. Here's we have a second M2 now deployed on the field. Very close to each other, but we got defensive doctrine. If he realizes where they're both right next to each other, he could go straight for the 28-centimeter rocket barrage and destroy him that way. He may want to go for the 28-centimeter rocket barrage as quickly as he can. It'll take a bit of time, however. Patrick does connect, though the Grenadiers are nice and close to the Greyhound. Gets a good shot there. Next strike shot should be firing relatively soon. Does connect. One more shot could take it out. Rolls a miss there and does get suppressed by the Pinto Mount. does fall back there. Got the assault phase complete. Maybe a good idea to go for a Stug. It's probably not a good idea to save it for a Panzer IV. Finds a landmine, gets severely damaged.
They're hitting our base. They're hitting our base.
And this one does go down to a Panzerfaust by the Volksgrenadiers. Fresh Pack 38, now rotating all around. Man gonna destroy the crit there. Pack 38 fires, and there goes the Greyhound. Engineers unable to get it repaired up. Still trying to repair the destroyed Greyhound. His gun's also destroyed as well. There it goes. M2 Howitzer barrage rating on in. I was going to say pushing forward like that's a good way to dodge barrage, but it ranged short and hit him.
They're losing a sector.
Rifle squad is currently suppressed, receiving bit damage there. He could take time to recapture the MG42 with his Volksgrenadiers. Personally, I probably would do that myself. His squad is a bit wounded, so the chance of him dropping the model is very likely. Do not have another unit being pulled on out, another rifle squad, bringing him back up to 4. And this Volksgrenadier squad does some good damage there. N40 has been recruited by this Volksgrenadiers. Both these guys may want to fall back to the bunker, get healed up. Bunker still unupgraded. I'm so surprised we don't see the actual recovery bunker. And both rifle squads are currently pinned. No upgrades on the supply yard, nor any on the way. He does have access to Rangers. If he sees out any assets from the Sturm Armory, probably a good idea to go for a Ranger, though we do have a Stug on the field. Not really a really big threat. There's no more Greyhounds, but the Stug could push forward into the base at those M2s. And this rifle squad will get retort. Do now the casualty recovery bunker. And the casualty recover bunker is more like a win more mechanic. If you win a fight, you get access to recover the casualties to get you more squads. Rifle squad does get wiped out as well, so far lost 2 squads right there. Additional rifleman squad on the build queue. Maybe a good idea to cancel that, get out a Ranger.
We have territory cut off.
And go for Thompson's. But the howitzers are running in, does decrew the Pack 38. Does take out something there, I believe.
We have territory cut off.
He does have all 3 Volksgrenadiers. The MG42 is alive. Maybe he retreated back through the barrage.
What now?
And the rifle squad does force back the Volksgrenadiers. We got this Pioneer capture this point. Engineer does fall back. Stug advancing on forward. And over here, we got the Grenadier and MG42 pushing way forward. Pioneers have seen a bit of damage there from the riflemen. And one of the Pioneers, both Pioneers do go down. And there's a Stug. Good usage of the Stug. No rifleman to throw some sticky bombs. I don't know if he has that research. He could, sticky bombs on the way, he could cancel the riflemen to get out some Rangers. They have bazookas. Trying to repair up the M2 with the engineers. Good try, but he's getting out damaged.
Composition B is in. Troops can now make allies are down to 300 points.
Volksgrenadiers advancing forward. Rifle squad see a bit of damage. Yep. It's not really all in at this point. You actually probably have already won the game. You've wiped out a good number of rifleman squads.
Our front line is
Losing still to take out 2 M2s. Honestly, I don't really view this as all in. More of a dive. Sticky bomb has been thrown. Probably does get the M2 hit. Probably a good idea just to focus fire the M2. Let him eat the sticky bombs there. MG42 advancing on forward as well. The MGs do not cover the sector there, so the MG42 can get some great damage here. Stug, minimal health remaining. Rangers not pulling the field, going immediately for Thompsons. It does destroy the M2 there, very nice. Stug's definitely dead. Not a good idea just to fire away. Focus on the Rangers. At this point in time, they don't have Thompson, so don't pose a massive threat. MG42 can stay around. More damage from the Stug, trying to drive away, destroy the engine crit. The Rangers are seeing quite a bit of damage right there. I'm not sure where they're going.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply.
Thompsons will pop on out. We'll have 3 times ready to fire. Focus on the triage center. Don't focus on the infantry, just focus on the triage center, I would say. No chance he's going to get it out with the destroyed engine crit there, so focus on the triage center and maybe he can get that out. Rangers, Pioneers do fall back. Both Rangers should be able to deal with the Rangers. Only 1 Thompson's currently firing. And now we've got a 2-3-4 quote on the field. Rangers do fall back. Rangers should be a good item to fight the 2-3-4. Rifleman squad again ripped apart by the large number of Volks Grenadiers. Not enough command. Doesn't have the off-map combat group to get back in the game, nor enough manpower for it. And we do have the 28cm rocket barrage there, so if it did not get those M2s, 28cm rocket barrage would annihilate them. They're far, far too close to each other. And he's almost at 200 munitions as well. Could call it in to destroy some of his infrastructure.
Our opponent at 200 points, veteran CK.
Bazooka does not roll a shot there. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much GG. The US players lost too much. The Thompson Rangers can be good, but I don't think they're enough at this moment in time. Most Rangers do fall back. Rifle squad is still pretty healthy. 2-3-4 took a hit. Bazooka rolls a miss. Another 2-3-4 deploying field. It looks like the engineers do go down as well. And it does get light vehicle budget C2 now. Rifle squad does get suppressed there. Rangers firing it up to focus it down. He may be eyeing for a grenade on the machine gun. And does go and drop on the bazookas there, which will make it a bit effective versus infantry, but now he's dead. Now he's not very effective versus infantry. Bazooka does get picked up by the Volks Grenadiers. Infantry will likely get wiped out here. Does have the rifle squads, however, getting annihilated. Does have access to off-map combat group. Makes one fall back to his rifle squads. Can't be losing them like this. Right now he's just throwing them away. Yeah, I'm not sure what he was doing there. He just lost all of them. He literally has no combat unit on the field. What? That's a bit uncalled for. That's also uncalled for.
Base is taking fire.
28cm rocket barrage not being brought on in. I probably would have done it right here. Save up the off-map combat group. Yeah, I think he's just going to be idle for the rest of the game. And there we go, the end of the replay. This is Anagrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And before I get started with the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. Sorry about that. Back. You're welcome. Now let's go ahead. Let's say this 2v2 after a 1 more 1v1, and that occupies me for the entire day. Well, let's find out. Greetings everyone, and Great here of another Company Wars 1 replay. So on the south side as the Wehrmacht forces, we have Death Machines. But on the north side as the British forces, we have Commando Kai. Let's see now, I see a whole bunch of Pioneers on the field, which is not uncommon. 5 Pioneer opener, which will grant the Wehrmacht player a good amount of capping pressure on the field. We do now have the infantry section advancing towards this side of the map. He may be eyeing to establish HQ onto this fuel or munitions point. That's not uncommon. We'll switch over to the British player for the time being because there's more variety of openers for the British. And we see the opener of Pioneers. We probably may see a tier 1 zero skip. And now I just got a new follower? Maybe. Oh, you never hit the follow button? Huh. Interesting. I wonder how you kept on seeing my replays then. Guess YouTube was really recommending them to you. Scope Rifle Squad advancing forward, get a bit of damage there onto the Pioneers. Pioneers will see a bit of damage there, and he will capture the fuel point. At this point in time, if he needs a quicker capture sector for a VP for his 4 HQ, he may just want to transition to the munitions point rather than fuel point and change his build opener. And I for a bit more munitions play rather than a fuel play. Speaking about fuel, we do have this fuel point now being captured on up. He does skip some of the points to get in supply, but he is going to get. He does have 5 Pioneers, which is a lot of capping pressure to say the least. There you go, got the mission sector capturing on up. We got the Fort HQ not being packed on up. He's eyeing for maybe another intersection, maybe for a lieutenant.
Outfits ready for action.
And we got this munition sector capturing up as well. Huh. Interesting. Well. Welcome to the channel then.
Let's get on with it, lads.
Intersection now captured up the fuel point. Does get the munition sector captured on up, and still is not packed on up. Munitions sector being captured. Cutoff point here being captured up as well, which will not provide any cutoff. I do hear that now the Pioneers engage the Scope Rifle Squad in glorious close range combat. The British HQ command truck still not packed up. He's playing a little bit more traditional, I guess. Traditional non-Brit, I should say.
Has been knocked out.
The Pioneer Squad does get wiped out. This Pioneer Squad does fall back, and the MG42 may be eyeing for this garrison. With the Brenner carrier around, it's probably not a good idea to have him in the open field. Get him nice and cozy inside his home. We do not have, does pop in, pop out. Brenner carrier now eyeing for the left flank. Pioneers doing a good job of capturing the left side of the map. And the HQ command truck's still back here. Interesting.
Ready to copy orders.
6 ready. Alright chaps, fire up.
Not deploying on anything. Oh, there's the pack up and now eyeing for, no, that's a speed governor upgrade. There's now eyeing to push forward now. He really wants this fuel point.
Governors have been upgraded on HQ.
Petrol reserves secure.
Thank you for the follow. Oh no, that's Twitch. Thank you for the follow, Takman 90 or 69.
Ready to roll.
We do now have the Pioneers building some ink traps along this route. He does get this cutoff. I can't speak right now. Cutoff point decaptured, which this point's also not captured as well. If you capture this one, this will prevent the whole cutoff of all these
Border
resources.
reporting a petrol dump
Wait,
under attack.
2 MG42s? So we do have a lot of Pioneers. He did, of course, lose one of them, and he's gone for 2 MG42s, and now for a motorcycle. Designed for heavy support play? Interesting. Bren MMG carrier now upgraded, firing away against this MP42. Does get suppressed there. MP42 sitting on up. Of course, got the Scorpion squad advancing on forward into the house. Does get the MP42. The fire gets his garrison there. He does get inside, so suppressed. Does avoid the arc of this one here, and motorcycle now engaging. Bren carrier has seen bit of damage there, but I think the motorcycle is being ripped apart thanks to the MMG carrier upgrade. There goes that motorcycle, and now this one is just getting annihilated. Pioneers still have not captured up this cutoff point, nor the other one. And now the intersection squad is seeing a bit of damage there. Pioneers eyeing for this cutoff point, which will get him back in the supply. Just a long route, but a route. Mounted Bren carrier pushes way forward. We see another MMG carrier. We do not. Fresh intersection now pulled on field. We do have the VP captured up by the Wehrmacht player over here, so the British player is slowly counting down against him. And his Pioneer squad does fall back. Tank traps going on up. That is a lot of tank traps. Nobody. Thank you for the that's probably YouTube subscription. Yep, I believe that was yours that time. A lot of tank traps are being put on the field. The only way to get rid of those tank traps, other than by shooting, is probably pull out Churchill and get the that's just a mine weaver upgrade. Though I think they do have heavy crush to go through the tank traps. Honestly, can't remember on top of my head. Though I doubt he will play out Churchills as much as I want to see them. Not MMG carrier, mounted Bren carrier now advanced along the left flank. We'll find the tank traps. And maybe we'll squeeze through them, because tank traps in this game are unreliable at stopping vehicles. Pioneers now push way forward, gunning down the lieutenant. Lieutenant does fall back in time. Scorpion squad falls back as well. Do have a mortar placement here. What if any of these guys be upgraded flamer engineers? No flamer engineers or pioneers. They are getting ripped apart by the MMG carrier there. The mounted ones push way forward, does find the pioneers. I don't know if Churchills can or can't crush them. Their upgrade is a Minesweeper upgrade, which may make a lot of impression. I really don't know on top of my head. You hardly ever you never see those blades deployed out by the Sherman Crocodile, or you hardly even see the Sherman Crocodile get deployed out in the first place. Because most people just take time to shoot the tank traps, because that's usually the easiest way to get rid of them. Got some damage coming out. MP42 set up a good position there to suppress these forces, but the mortar placement could get a barrage in this region. He's quite wounded. We do have these sector points in supply, thanks to the strategic point being captured on up. The Bren carrier is decapturing these safe points. Though surprising enough, this is a cutoff point for the British player, not for the British player, for the Wehrmacht player, but it's usually meant for the northern player rather than the southern player. Polish Grenadiers fires past pulse there, does connect to the Bren carrier, does go and mount up, remounts up, and does see quite a bit of damage there, backing on off. Both Grenadiers are seeing a bit of damage there. And now you got the intersection getting suppressed there. And now do have a Sturm Armory now put on the field, and an MG bunker upgrade here as well. I suppose with the amount of Pioneers put on the field, he's probably not a good idea to go for the casualty recovery bunker. It simply doesn't have casualties to recover. You're now the mortar place is trying to gauge the MG42 bunker, which will be much more resilient than a exposed MG42 squad. He may lose this MG42. Pass Falls does connect, takes out that Bren carrier. Oh, here? Oh, that's Goliath.
Defend the fatherland until death.
Apparently Goliath does not take out mortar emplacement in one hit. I never knew that. I'd assume it would take out one hit.
Do you need any construction?
Pioneers capture this munitions sector there. And let's get a bit damage there on the Volksgrenadiers. MG42 does consent garrison, trying to be displaced by the MMG carrier upgrade. They got 2 scope rifles here as well. Mortar placement now, Einpark barrage onto it. And we do have something brought by the field support truck. Could be a Stewart. It is a sapper. He doesn't have a captain now in the field just yet. Now got the 234 advancing on forward. And the tank traps does prevent the movement of the 234. There's a lot of tank traps in this region. Run to limit his own mobility, so they think these tank traps a little bit detrimental at the time. Sapper's being upgraded with a Piet squad. Since he does have his fighting against the 234s, probably what he's eyeing for a counter. A Bofors could be also a decent way to stop them from advancing. 234 getting some damage there onto the scope rifle squad, does force him back. You have a slit trench here. He may throw the lieutenant inside of it. He does get fully built as well. Or just throw the captain inside of it. MG42 is a bit of fighter. He could use deploy designated marksman there. Mortar does roll a miss and he does get suppressed. Now the 234 advancing forward as well. Gotta see for more damage there. Receiving some more shots.
NCO's reporting they have destroyed a German target.
And also the mortar did take out that MG42. Stug advancing forward. Does have a squad of Piets somewhere. Squads of Piets there trying to pursue the 234. Stug rolls and miss there. May have got the splash damage there on the Bren carrier. 234 does fall back. Oh, got a firestorm. We have doctrine lock in, terror doctrine. Firestorm's now being brought on in. Barraging these units. Receiving a bit of damage. Does use a casualty casualty clearing station there to get the heal up during the incendiary effect. Damage is put down the field support truck. 234 advance forward. It should be able to kill the the MMG carrier. Field support truck seeing some more fire there. Mortars rolls and miss there, and the MMG carrier does go down. Being pulled up by the field support truck, eyeing for another sapper, probably for some Piets. Let's get a bit of damage there onto the ranged mortar as well. Maybe a good idea to throw the captain inside the bunker for the good play to keep the bunker warm, as well as provides a nice damage defense buff. It does connect with the 234. And obviously does get some hits on the Stug as well. Splitting his fire. X42 does find the sapper right there, suppresses them. Lose men to feed the medics, possible to get some free squads out. Volksgrenadiers deployed on the field, receive a bit of damage there by the scope rifle squad, does get in the garrison with minimal health. 234s are vulnerable to small arms fire, so given enough time, they can receive quite a bit of damage. Sapper squad being upgraded PS as well. Looks like a mortar does connect to the Volksgrenadiers. He does back on out. He may still go down. Unless he will not go down. Scope rifle squad falls back. The unupgraded squad slowly creeps its way forward, and the Piet squad does get suppressed. 234 receive a bit of fire. Piet rolls 110 there. Trying to overrun the lieutenant. Now got another firestorm being brought on in. And there goes that 234. More firestorms raining on in, getting some good damage here. Stroke pushes his way forward.
Under fire! Make it quick! 6 ready.
Now, do you have a fresh armor command truck being pulled on a field? Does get a shot there on the 3-inch mortar, and the field control is still heavily in favor towards the Wehrmacht forces. More shots there on the 3-inch mortar emplacement. Gets rolls and misses there. The 3-inch mortar is still alive. Got more PS raining on in. Of course, the Skullcraft squad can't do much versus it. You got the... Oh, looks like the bunker went there on to the mortar emplacement likely. I don't think it was from the Piets. Could have been from the Piets. Lobbing some rounds over the hedges. Still dodging some shots there. Does take a bounce. Put it there onto that Piet squad. We've now got another Stug upon the field. Maybe now this is a good time to get out a 17-pounder.
Ready to deploy?
Yep, there seems like there's been a lot of wasted firestorms.
Ready for action.
Mortar emplacement getting healed on up.
Secure the area, gents. We don't want Jerry dropping in.
Lieutenant rolls, fires, and doesn't get hits the pens there because, of course, it is a Stug.
We're ready. Get us to the fight.
Skullcraft squad haven't healed on up. We do got the Piet squads trying to repair up everything. Maybe go here at this point and get another Piet for simply for repairs. He does have quite a bit of fuel stored up, so maybe going for some Fireflies wouldn't be half bad. Hopefully, has a command tank available. I prefer the command tank over the Staghounds, thanks to the improved effects for the Fireflies, making them much more effective versus the frontal armor of these units. Additionally, the Staghound just competes with the Stuart in a roll. And I prefer the Stuart with the canister round overall. We have another Firestorm being plotted up over here. Hopefully, it cancels that 17-pounder. It's not really paying attention. Does get a good connect there. 17-pounder now sees the fire there. Does lose the Piet squad. This other Piet squad will run straight into the Stug here. Does. I'm not sure he canceled the or got that destroyed. Let's get that side of the Slit Trench. Good spot there for the PS to fight from. Lieutenant could get inside the Slit Trench as well. One PS does get dropped there as well. Roll, bounce. Rolls a pen there. And it's like the intersection's on to pick up that Piet now. And is that another Firestorm? We got another Firestorm being brought on in. He's spending all his munitions. It is 160, so it's relatively cheap. And so he's able to get one every 2 minutes. It does connect. That's likely going to be the command tank, or nope, it is going to be the Staghound. Lieutenant severely wounded, does fall back now. And there's nothing in the retreat area in order for that Stug to get picked off. Now, fresh Staghound upon field does get a free intersection as well. So now he's up to 4 squads.
Petrol stars have been captured.
Doesn't get any crushes there. Oh, there's a Nub Warfare. Nub Warfare being brought on in. I'm to bring in some more incendiary effects in this region.
German forces are trying to overrun one of our sectors.
Munition sector has been kept on up. We do got this Skullcraft squad kept to the flank. There is actually a munition observation post here. Very nice. And the lieutenant looks like will go down. Gets burned alive.
Get ready, crew! Yes, sir!
Observation post slowly going on down. They just say, let's see a look on Jerry's face when they see this. It's a casualty clearing station. Why do you care what Jerry's look like? Look at. Why would they care for their opinion on a casualty clearing station? Are they trying to flaunt the fact they have medics over no medics? Oh yeah, the Wehrmacht doesn't have medics. Oh god.
Destroyed a German target.
See? We have medics, you don't. The intersection does get suppressed there by the Stug, and does receive a nice little hit there as well. Another Stug deployed on field. We got a lot of Stug. Does get a good hit there onto that intersection. He does have efficiency 2 on these Stugs as well, so now they have access to pintle mounts. Does get another good hit there as well. Piet fires, rolls a miss. Nebworfer firing away.
Sector under attack.
He gets a good damage there. Piet squad could get burned alive.
Have territory out of supply.
And he does manage to save the squad in time.
Jerry's hitting one of our forward sectors.
Piet's intersection does get suppressed and pinned. Nebworfer does not get decrewed and does go and corral the intersection into the wall. He may want to fall back with it now if they are currently suppressed. When the intersection does fall back, you got a free squad or a free skull squad. Yeah, he still only has the 4, maybe referring to something died. Yeah, he doesn't have many intersections. He mostly been relying on Stugs for combat. We got another stack count, see a bit of damage there. Of course, with this tank trap in the region, neither side can advance forward, though there's a tank trap there as well. And there's now a V1 available. That can do some good damage over here. Let's take out the casualty clearing station. Firefly now deployed on the field, very nice. I got the Wehrmacht sniper now deployed on the field, 0 kills at the moment. Section receive a bit of fire there. They do get inside the garrison. Sniper here, camouflage, designed for spouting. Oh, very nice. It's not meant for sniping, it's an artillery spotter. That's not the officer. Intersection does fall back there. The snipers may buy into advance on 4 so they can bring in more firestorms or V1s, more accurate intelligence. Stat count could be use a bit of repairs, and the Firefly not so much. Stat count should be able to gauge these pioneers no problem. We have Volksgrenadiers inside this garrison, wounded. This also intersection is wounded.
We have lost
70 pounders trying to go on up. There's the V1. Oh no, right there. Gets good hit there, takes the casualty clearing station, takes out the mortar emplacement and the field support truck. The 70-pounder stays alive, which is very important because he sort of needs that to help prevent the Stugs from advancing forward. You have now Nebworfer barrage running in. Captain's nice and safe inside the split trench. He didn't even need to duck to order to avoid that fire. After all, British officers at the time were trained not to duck, if I remember correctly. Firefly pushes way forward. I just see 3 tanks now being deployed on the field as well. So you could transition to some heavier armor, such as Panzer IVs. Stugs are nice, but Panzer IVs could be better in this situation. He has enough AT versus the Firefly, so maybe, or maybe a Vet 3 also in. That could be a good infantry support vehicle. I always try to eye for something heavier than just simple, more stock units. Boy, designated marksman there was taken out there. Did you see that sniper earlier? You may have a good idea this one has. Oh, this sniper does get a shot there. Maybe he saw this sniper and he thought, or maybe he has a. To be fair, he didn't believe anything was spotted in the region, so he may have had a good idea of a sniper in the region, so that could have been an indication. And this will likely be a good spot for a sniper. You now have Zeal now being deployed on the field. Net damage there onto the Scope Rifle Squad. Of course, He's trying to use Floyd as a marksman there. I don't think he got it off there. I think that was just a regular shot. And this Scorpion squad may go down. No, it does not. This still does see a bit of a PF shot there as well. The sniper did snipe? Okay. I wasn't really paying attention to the sniper. I was just wondering if that sniper, if he did snipe that sniper, that would have been a horrible play because he needed that for an artillery spotter. I will not reveal a good spot like that. Nebelwerfer does get interrupted there by a nice shot from the Staghound and gets one decent Nebelwerfer hit there onto the Fireflies, softening up them. Now the Stugs are back in the corner. Staghound advances forward. Staghound's trying to focus down the Nebelwerfer as the Fireflies are advanced, but they get caught up in terrain. Another Stug advancing forward. This Stug could push them forward. Has a small amount of health to Tango gamble with. This Firefly, of course, needs to fall back, and now does go out of control there. Does get his people punched there by the Bren Squad, who has picked up a hit, but nothing in this area to really threaten these Stugs.
The enemy has 300 points.
Sniper does get a shot there onto this intersection.
One of our snipers is KIA.
Oh, that was one lucky shot there. So both snipers have gone down, doing a good job of counter-sniping. Sound of one Volksgrenadiers and one Pioneer. Volksgrenadiers could be upgraded with MP4 to sort of play around the bush. The sniper didn't shot, but got detected. Got it.
We can now unleash our propaganda war.
Propaganda war is now available. The VPs are in favor of the Wehrmacht player. Now I got another MG bunker or bunker being put here. I think that's going to be a repair bunker. Stug 4 now completed, so now there's 4 Stug 4. And Nebelwerfer barrage raiding on in.
Bunker complete.
Wait, what the hell? Oh, that. Since it got interrupted in between. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you look at that, it fired additional rocket there because it got decrewed in mid-firing. So it actually bugged down the barrage and fired a couple extra rounds. Interesting. Of course, that's generally not intended, nor did that little bug result in any additional benefit. A little bit fascinating. While that could technically be in the future somehow an exploit, but even then, something like that to be set up is unlikely, and a lot of those times, like, there's not much you can control, and recruiting the Nebelwerfer is just to be expected. I just find that a little bit amusing.
They're losing territory.
Scope Arc Squad seems quite a bit farther. There's, of course, a 70-pounder. Their prices fire support. Some of these Stugs seemingly necessary. That squad does go down. Piet Bren Squad does get inside the garrison. Good hit there on the Stugs. What doctrine should the British player go for? He has 9 command points. He has been munitions to work with. Raw artillery is usually a good default with all the artillery abilities. At this point in time, he could go for Royal Engineers to get this thing upgunned. Or not upgunned, but has the boards upgrade. But the extra doesn't really have any good munition sinks there unless he wants to deploy out a AVRE. Hold down could be decent for the Fireflies if he really wants to keep this area secure. So hold down. Royal Engineers has a couple points in favor of them. Commandos, of course, have a good off-map artillery to call on in with a 25-pounder and decoy barrage, which decoy barrage is technically free, but still nonetheless. And of course, you could always bring in Royal Artillery to expend his large munitions reserve. So I can see merits in all 3 of the doctrines.
Ready to roll.
I'm just more impartial towards Royal Engineers because you never see the doctrine. I want to see Hold Down. I want to see Churchill's. I think people should deploy the structural aviary a little bit more. Especially for if you have a good amount of munitions float. Be a squad advancing forward. Volks Grenadiers making their advance. Staghound firing away. Another Firefly completed.
Trying to secure one of our sectors.
2 Fireflies on the field. Good hits there onto these Stugs. Repair bunkers top them all off so they can poke in. And the 17 pounder can poke, really poke hard.
Squad ready to move out.
He is also hitting this garrison. Since it is more of an entity, it can get hit a little bit better by projectiles, but most of these rounds do fire through. Looks like the 17 pounder back line trying to destroy this hedges. And the Firefly. Double Warfare Barrage running in over here. Nice direct hit there in the Bren squad. Got 10 command points here as well. Let's see over here. We've got enough munitions for a V1 and the V1's off cooldown. You could apply another sniper and camouflage it forward and try to
25 pounder. Yes, sir.
bring a barrage here. Do you have a 25 pounder going on up?
Fire orders coming to
Frontiers can be powerful, but also a little bit niche, as being more of a inherently defensive doctrine, or factions already designed around defense. When it stack counts, see a bit of fire there. Fireflies roaming around, eyeing for some barrages, and there's the V1 here. Oh. There goes a Firefly. I think he was going to think it was on top of the 17 pounder as well, but it was over here. More artillery. Another Double Warfare fired 1 round? Seems like been quite a bit of that.
ready.
I think that Double Warfare's just slightly bugged out, isn't it? It's firing single rockets where it doesn't need to. 25. Oh, he has gotten for raw artillery. Does have access to priests. He deploys out a 25 pounder, and there is a creeping barrage from 25 pounder now. Honestly, he may not have fully gotten down the priests. 25 pounders are a little bit cheaper, or cheaper in manpower at least, and he has plenty of fuel. Unless he wants to keep that fuel for more Fireflies. He is not a pop cap at the moment, but another Firefly wouldn't hurt. At least not him. He'll hurt his opponent a bit. You got a Pantrix there. We've got the captain of Victor target. Pioneers advance forward. Sniper does connect to the Bren squad. Does fall back. Does drop a. Oh, it looks like the Bren squad dropped a Piet and picked up. So maybe the captain can pick that up. Pioneer received quite a bit of damage. Does not get the capture there. Those is a Pioneer. Sniper. Game focus down. He polishes camouflage it so he can use it for spotting purposes. Staghound's trying to hunt him down. Does find a Double Warfare there and a Stug. Does fall back now. And looks like these 70 pounders trying to get burned up. And now we do have a creeping barrage right there. A little bit off the side of the map. Gotta go there on the Grenadiers. The Grenadiers do get annihilated. And now the creeping barrage is eyeing for this area. Or this way? What's he eyeing? This way? Nope. This way. Double Warfare does not get the crew, though this bunker received quite a bit of damage there. Luke's getting repaired on up. We got another Staghound being pulled on the field. The Wehrmacht player is low on munitions. This munitions observation post has not been rebuilt. Engine complete, so there's a double Pantrix equipped Grenadier. Captain finds Piet. He could put him a slit trench there so he could just fire his Piet safely. That Warfare Barrage raining on in. And they got a bit of damage on the 17 pounder. Good Penstrike shots there. That Warfare firing away. And the 17 pounder does go down. Firefly received a hit there as well. Grenadiers took multiple hits. Another fresh Nebel Warfare pull on the field.
Our base is under attack.
And we got another, looks like another creeping barrage here. Does take a list of Nebel Warfare. Actually, both Nebel Warfers are down. Oh, there's that other one. The fresh one does get decrewed immediately. And do now the Tiger Panzer, the King Tiger Panzer, the Kolonix Tiger. He can be brought on the field, and I probably butchered so many German words.
Should we crush them or
Hey,
shoot
you
them?
guy. Hope you have your shit together.
Only the best
Come on.
in German engineering.
Grenadiers, listen up.
Calibrating range line.
Do now the 25 pounder eyeing for the barrage in this region. Oh, airburst round. Piet does connect from the captain onto the Stug. Airburst rounds getting some sporadic damage, nothing too significant. Just there onto the Stug. Another airburst round there, but looks like that one exploded on the ground. 70 pounder firing away. This Stug may go down. Stug gets its main gun destroyed. Destroying their new paint job.
Defend the fatherland.
Oh, yep, it's no longer a very fresh paint job there. Stugs are falling back, seeing more damage on the retreat. He does connect right there. This is 17 pounders range. And now the Grenadiers eye for the VP. V1, so it's another 2 minutes for a cooldown. 2 minutes 15 seconds. And almost enough munition for, so may bring a Firestorm in the meantime. His manpower is very low, isn't it? Wait, his manpower seems a little bit too low. Am I mistaken? Population's only 40. Bit of damage raining on in.
All right, boys. Orders.
Oh, there's a King Tiger. Maybe that's why. I thought this was another Stug, but nope. The King Tiger now deployed on the field.
Yes, Kamerad.
Back out and push way forward. Got a bit of damage on the Grenadiers with the Piet from the captain. Captain right now has 1 infantry kill. Both Staghounds are not. Oh, this one's actually fully healed. King Tiger course will for keep these Staghounds away. Rolls a miss there. Rolls a miss there. Almost at the backline infrastructure there. Airburst rounds now hitting the King Tiger. The Pantrix are just force fire on the ground. He does have 2 Pantrix on this squad here.
Tell us who to shoot.
Oh, here. Grenadier squad does get force on back. We do have a bit of some mixed force there. 2 17 pounders still in the field. There's the Firestorm on top of the 17 pounder. He wants that displaced before he advances towards the King Tiger. Needs some hits there. And now we do have another field support truck being pulled on the field. Maybe good he has. Maybe good idea to deploy that on a munitions sector. The Armored Command should explore the munitions sector, so is the primary HQ, but has decided to set it up on the field point. I suppose a little bit extra fuel wouldn't hurt him. He has a good amount of resources, so he could eventually get out some extra Fireflies. Grenadiers advancing forward. Pantrix do connect and does lose the double Pantrix squad there. Staghound needs to fall back and get some repairs. Rolls a miss there onto the Staghound. And now the intersection does get annihilated. Late response there. Retreat. And does fall back without receiving another Tiger tank shot. Stug does receive a hit there from the 17 pounder. That bore for barrage raining on in, trying to hit the 17 pounder. Volk's going to see a bit of fire there. More network shots there. Those lose the stack count.
German forces are trying to overrun one of our sectors.
And now do got a cream barrage in the back line. He's trying to hit the... I think a Nebelwerfer was there as well. Not sure. Nope, Nebelwerfer's right there. Another repair bunker going on up. Zion just barraged the base. He knows with the repair bunkers. Oh, and there's the last set of rounds to the Nebelwerfer. So he creeped right into the Nebelwerfer. Very nice. Does take out the repair bunker there as well.
Another replacement.
Now the Pioneers are trying to get that bunker up and going as well. Folks are going to see a bit of fire there. It does get forced back. And here comes another V1. Somewhere over here, I'm assuming. Maybe right on here.
And there's 200 points.
Yep. Guessed correctly. Goes push way forward. The Path 38 severely wounded. Now got the King Tiger getting repaired on up by the repair bunkers. His munition gun comes right now is 50 per minute. His opponent in comparison has 60 because Brits can really lock down sectors.
Gunline has confirmed they can execute counter-battery drills.
Counter barrage is available. I suppose if he really wants Nebelwerfer instead, he can utilize it, but it's probably not very useful. Honestly, the Brits having that ability is generally not very useful because the thing they're probably used against the most is probably the Morpherman half tracks, but they're mobile. Act 38 was also mobile, but he's not as dead. And of course, in multiplayer, the Wehrmacht does not have access to the Luft 18s or any artillery pieces. There is one in the Tales of Valor campaign, the Airborne campaign, the paratrooper ones, whatever it's called, the Causeway, I think it was. I forget exactly what it was called. It does have you as objective take out artillery pieces. Inside a similar design to the British bunker, but it's more of a pentagon shape. Which I'm honestly sort of surprised that didn't make it into multiplayer as alternative to the Flak 88 for Wehrmacht. And maybe even for Panzer Elite as alternative as to the, well, Flak 88 as well. Airburst barrage has forced back the Volksgrenadiers. And now do have the Overwatch artillery barrage raining on in, or being passed on in. It's in two circles here, so we may have another artillery piece in the field. There's a priest for it. Just to whittle away his opponent. You could try to plant a split trench here for a nice hardened position for spotting purposes. Firefly received quite a bit of damage there, being repaired up by the repair sappers. The Peace Sappers could come and help, either by shooting or by repairing. Jokes making their advance. 70 pounder is still alive in this region. Doesn't get a shot off, however. British there onto the King Tiger. I believe that quote-unquote Jerry target destroyed was just the repair of Pioneers. Bunker Pioneers. King Tiger severely wounded. Firefly doing some great work there. Being a bit of a brawler. Baghound's advancing forward trying to hit these Volksgrenadiers. And there goes the King Tiger. Volksgrenadiers see a bit of fire there. And there goes his Volksgrenadiers. Dogs see quite a bit of beating there. Of course, the damage is sporadic. Airburst rounds is not like the greatest rounds. Stokes now advancing forward. Firefly does get a hit. We do have another Ascending Pounder now going on up. He does have enough conditions for a Firestorm. He's low in manpower, however. Of course, now he's up to nearly 300 manpower, though his force is down to 14. Panther on the build queue. Panther's probably going to be a good idea. Veteran C3 Panther can be useful versus the Fireflies. Right now it's a little bit idle. The British player's not pushing along the left side of the map. No more posts here. No observation posts.
Let's see how they stand against us. The guns are primed, loaded, and ready for
He's just saving up for his Panther. He does have quite a bit of fuel stored up, so he can perhaps get out a good armored assault. Maybe he has a bit of time with his command points. In fact, he is ahead in command on VPs, so maybe trade some VPs for resources and push forward with a massive wave of Panther and Stug. His opponent right now has been maintaining a good flow of resources, but he's consumed most of that float now. He has 3 Stag Hounds, a Firefly, a Priest, 3 17 Pounders. None of them overheal at the moment. The Repair Sappers is doing that now.
Germans are now at 300 points.
Panther does get spotted there.
Gunner looking for targets.
And looks like he... Oh, no, that's the British player lagging out for a moment. Definitely back out the... is he backing out the game? It looks like the Brit may have crashed or something. That's a bit of a shame. He was definitely ahead in that game, so he must have crashed. Either way, this Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Sorry I had to end like this. Well, either way, I do need to use the restroom again. My apologies. One moment, please. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. And let's go on to the next replay. Same way that one ended. And let's go ahead and finish off the day with a 2v2. This will probably take me the rest of the time from our stream. But let's go ahead and end the game with a bang. Not a whimper like that one. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on the left side as the Panzer we have Wagavan. Spawn on the left side as the other Wehrmacht player, we have Senior Stampos. On the right side as the British forces, we have Local Host. And spawn as the British player, we have SRV. Looks like I said, well, oh, we got a booby trap ability there, so we got Scorched Earth immediately locked on in. Wehrmacht war is going on up. You know, most time people tend to go for a large number of pioneers versus British players. In a 2v2, that's probably not really the case. Let's see what we see over here. Got a lieutenant to pack up. Over here, we do have nothing at the moment. He does get another intersection squad on the field. This player is on to pack up and head somewhere. He does have the entire map to his pickings. He doesn't have to go down south. He can go to the left. After all, the side of the map is where is wherever he so chooses. If sections capture this sectors there, looks like he's going behind to set up in this region, or maybe his team is going to set up this region. After all, it's the other British player who's packing up his HQ, not him.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we've got the Brendan Carrier to back up as well. So he may be behind to set up on this region himself. Lieutenant advance on forward. Got this militia sector being captured on up, so maybe he's going to set up here.
Ammo depot secured.
Panzer Grenadiers push way forward. We got the Pioneer and the Schimmelwagen advancing forward. Just get a bit of fire there onto the Scope Rifle Squad. Panzer Grenadiers get a bit of damage there on the intersection. Pioneers over here capture the fuel point. And Panzer Grenadiers pushing their way forward now. There's sporadic fire there. Scope Rifle Squad is beyond some heavy cover there, engaging. Up north, we got the Brendan Carrier mounted up, engaging the Panzer Grenadiers. Kenneth trying to prevent the Brendan Carrier from moving around. Scope Rifle Squad also engaging as well. It's going to be a messy engagement. Brendan Carrier received private damage. Damage to crit there. Now it's going to be backing on off. A little bit of fire there. Scope Rifle Squad being focused down. Unupgraded squad. Soldier states around the open. The Kenneth could push him around to make him dance. And it looks like this squad does get forced back relatively soon. Brendan Carrier does manage to escape on out of there. He does use not the repair ability at the moment. Down south, we've got the Schimmelwagen and the Schimmelwagen engaging the Scope Rifle Squad. And this one has set up on this sector here. So the central, what's supposed to be his opponent's munitions point there is now locked down. Mortar placement going on up. His teammate may need a bit of help there. Brendan Carrier could potentially wipe out this section or Panzer Grenadier right there. Large number of these squads are quite wounded. Now he's just trying to run away. Does use repair ability right there. Schimmelwagen advancing forward. His teammates starting to support us up north. Brendan Carrier does force back that one-man squad. We've got these 5 models now remaining. The Brendan Carrier is much healthier now. And now got this intersection iron to engage. Additional Panzer Grenadier advancing forward as well. And these Panzer Grenadiers are seeing a bit of damage now. Down south we do have the Pioneers and MG4-2 with Schimmelwagen making their advance, and something being applied out here is another intersection squad. These intersections push way forward. Brendan Carrier see a bit of damage. He's trying to push forward towards his teammates' units. His Scope Rifle Squad is on click off point, but is shooting this Panzer Grenadier. May have dropped a model there. This intersection does take out the Kenneth. Brendan Carrier advances forward, forces back Panzer Grenadier. This one is intersection still has plenty of health. He may want to eye for a bit of light cover here. Lieutenant now seeing a bit of damage. Ooh, this Panzer Grenadier does drop a couple model there. Does get wiped out by this squad here. And these squads are falling back as well. His teammates intersections now push forward as well, and all of these forces do get forced back. However, this intersection may go down. He may need to pack up and retreat. Not paying attention. Does pack up, retreat. He may have barely escaped on out of there. Sniper's not decaptured at this point. He should have made the sniper, if he was quick enough, could have decaptured the point there, but now it's resecured. Of course, that mortar placement in the area may be a bad idea to try to recapture it up at that moment. His teammate has deployed his HQ command truck around that munitions sector, so maybe he could take time to reinforce here and then push forward to help reclaim his region. Oh, and the mortar placement gets decrewed. And mortar placement still has not gone down. Headquarters command truck not going for the field support truck there. Mortar placement still not destroyed. More of the sandbags have gone away. Now I do have this intersection squad receiving a bit of damage now.
We are losing this.
Playmaker is trying to burn down this HQ command truck. This point has been captured on up, and this other point being captured on up. Brandon Carrier making some advance, trying to force back the Flare and Pioneer. Flare and Pioneer does fall back. And now trying to hit that MG42, trying to get rid of suppression. Sniper could be pursued. Sniper's being pursued. Does get spotted there. Brandon Carrier's receiving damage there. Now he's just trying to escape himself. There's 4 Panzer Grenadiers here. 1 MG42 Sniper and Schimmelwagens. Brandon Carrier just needs to step on it. Capture recovery. Casualty clearing station being employed out right here, which could be useful to help him not only for healing, but also how gather up some casualties in the near future. Panzer Grenadiers push way forward. We know he's gone for Scorched Earth. Not sure. This player may have actually selected a Doctrine. Brandon Carrier, Brandon Squad does see a bit of damage there. There's 2 main Panzer Grenadiers from the fight. Does go next to the healing ability right there. He's also too far away from getting reinforced from his HQ. He's also straight away up to his teammate's HQ there. He's also does get a bit of time to get healed on up. Advancing forward, which also allow his teammate to draw aggro there. Lieutenant falls back, of course, a free spot there. 1 Schimmelwagen does go down. Lieutenant needs just to run away towards the casualty cleaning station. Does get hit, affected by the healing radius now, and does pack up, fall back. It doesn't take time to quickly decapture this point. Sniper still far away. Intersection receiving a bit of damage there. 1 casualty has been recovered. Medics are still alive, so he can recover more. Mortar Placement support is not alive, so he can't rely on it as fire support. His teammate could try and capture the mortar placement there to provide the mortar support. Mortar, and it'll be more than just mortar support. Schimmelwagen will go down there. You now have the MG42 could be overrun next. Sniper's probably not going to be overrun at the moment. And we've got the 2 models there stuck on the grill of the Brandon Carrier. MG42 does fall back, could get wiped out, but so does the Brandon Carrier. Does take up the MG42. The Brandon Carrier is also carrying a Brent squad and finds a landmine there.
Multiple reports of vehicles being destroyed.
I wonder if that was a telemine. Wasn't really paying attention to what type of landmine that was. No, his opponent teammate has gone for Scorched Earth, so it's definitely not a telemine. That's definitely Wehrmacht landmine. Mortar placement not firing away. Brent squad didn't fall back. There is fall back there. You know, the mortar placement score starting to get healed on up. Pioneers now push way forward, trying to get a bit of damage there. And then Intersection squad does fall back. There could have been a fresh one. No, that's his teammates.
What's the word, sir?
I don't think I have any way to see which Doctrine he's gone for if he has selected Doctrine. No boards here, so no, he has not at least gone for Royal Engineers. Not yet. That's still a possibility. This is the Panzer player. We know he's gone for Scorched Earth. He's also Scorching Earth with Auxiliary Mortar there. Each sections do get inspired by Heroic Charge. His teammate right now, who may not set the Doctrine just yet, has got snipers, no veterancy, has a free spirit on the field, going for Pack 38. That'll be times 2 Pack 38. And these constructions do get forced back there. These ones make their advance.
They need deployment location.
And he has gone for Blitzkrieg. But the mortar hatcheck has now been bought in. Patrick trying to hold back these intersections there. Button has worn off. Maybe actually they should have move order. Pioneer's eyeing for munitions cache.
They are attacking secure territory.
Maybe a little bit too early for munitions cache right now, because right now they're getting overrun by the infantry. Mortar hatcheck getting repaired up by his teammate. Very nice. I hear a landmine detonation there. Scope up squad does find it.
We are losing territory.
One such trench has been cancelled, the other one has been interrupted, and Senior Mortar does come forward. You know, slowly burn down these sandbags.
We are losing ground.
More sniper shots are raining on in. Do you have a 70-pounder in this region? As of right now, honestly, a Bofors is probably more than plenty to deal with any light vehicles. We do have a do now be employed on the field. Pack 30 camouflage back at home. Mortar half tracks are running their mortars on in. Unknown doctrine selected still, and okay, he's definitely gone for a doctrine, but I'm not sure which one it is.
Stand to.
It's probably Royal Artillery. I don't see
25
boards
pounder
there.
here.
Could potentially be Commando. It's probably Royal Artillery. Royal Artillery is a safe bet. Good damage there onto the mortar half track. These forces are following him back. We will. Oh, and seen a bit of damage there. He's going for the Warpman half tracks. Is engaging, suppresses down these units. Burrow charge has been activated there. Trying to overrun this mortar half track to push right forward. And I didn't hear the radio signal here, so I believe he has gone for artillery. Leaving his teammate, who so far has not seen the doctrine. Highly likely as well he will go for artillery. It does lose a squad here. This mortar half track has plenty health. This half track has 0 health. And I think actually the Pantrack finished off that mortar half track. Either way, he was already dead. Another 25 pounder being employed on the field by the Royal Artillery player. Oh wait, did I add? Oh no, never mind.
Gun line ready.
Grenadiers push away up north. Kattegat has capped in this area. I think it's time for booby traps. One of this munitions observation post at the moment. Now we got these British forces advancing on forward, trying to hit these Panzer Grenadiers. Got 2 2-2s in this region, as well as a pair of snipers. Let's get some good shots there. Piet sappers may go down, so they will not go down. It has been attained, so it looks like one of the Piet sappers do drop a Piet, but the intersection does pick it up. We have a captain in this sector as well, and maybe a good idea to put him split trench.
Task complete.
And he also needs to stay in this sector here, in my opinion. So being in this sector will help improve defense in this region as well. Now I got a war from the half tracks raining on in. These forces are and infrastructure is very tightly grouped, so the war from half track will get some great damage there. He is trying to clean up this region. I hear artillery raining on it. It sounds like a 25 pounder. That could just be regular barrage. That is a 25 pounder. I mean, frequent barrage. Incendiary mortar has been fired. 2-2 is firing away.
Gunners under fire! Reporting for duty, sir.
Over here, fresh lieutenant now pulled on the field. So far, he has rebuilt it. Medic does go down there, denying any more casualties from being recovered for the time being. Grenadiers was sending some Panzer shots there. Something explodes there. Now these Grenadiers are falling back. Quite a bit of a lot of intersection push way forward. Got war from half track rating for barrage in this region. Could do some nasty work. Good hit there. Does force him back at least. The barrage could have been much worse there.
Initiative is ours. Victory countdown.
And now do you have some
starts.
stews being employed on field. That should be very effective versus these groups of infantry, especially this player here. But there's a 70 pounder there to ward away in advance. Don't see a casual recovery bunker here by the Paramount player. Maybe a good idea to go for one to get out some free grenadiers. Casualty player says he's going for Panthers. Not a big surprise.
Ready for new target.
And now do have the British forces heroically charging into the autocannon fire. They do get exhausted And they do fall back
Seers
now.
have what they need to call in artillery.
And looks like both of these players have gone for artillery now.
Orders coming in.
Armor Commander should be on the field. Some Panthers could be very, not Panthers, Fireflies could be very useful. And now we do have the Mortar Half Track. Excuse me. Mortar Half Track is missing a bit of fire there now. Good news, do avoid the Piet fire there. They got the Pantrix making their advance. So one that's a Tank Buster squad. And these forces do fall back. More mortars, more explosives raining on in. These forces are quite wounded at the moment. To do skirmishing around. Getting some good sporadic damage. Up north, we got these forces advance forward. Does take out these units.
Target.
Repair bunker being requested. Maybe pinged as well. Of where? Up north, we got these forces advancing on forward. We do have more Warframe barrages hitting the British base. The 70 pound is almost down. More 25 pounder barrages raining in somewhere. And I do have to first Stewart on the field. Asking for the repair for unwounded to-dos. And asking for one more Stuka, then he's going to go for repair bunkers. Do line a shot onto the Sapper. Finds a decent hit there onto the Lieutenant. Lieutenant does fall back. Locker roving, firing away against the Bren gun as well.
Stewart here. Alright, chaps, fire up. Go ahead, send your message.
We may be able to get a shot there on the Pioneer. Does fire a shot there in the hedge line. Not sure what the Stewart's trying to do at the moment. Gets making their advance. Stu does roll a miss. And now here comes a Warframe barrage into this region. Maybe we'll get some good damage there. Trying to use the hedge line as a good cover there. But the Warframes are raining a little bit short. Stu still rolling miss there. The Stewart went down there. Act 38 got it. Times Grenadiers are making their way forward. Medic also, 2 medics grabbing some casualties here. Very nice. That will give them a free squad for one of those return. Captain now receiving some fire. And the center powder does go down. Capture clearing station does receive some fire. Which could deny one of those squads. The captain does go down. And does force these squads back. And the medics should be able to get themselves a casualty free squad. He's heading down south, got these Warframe half-tracks making their advance. And these British infrastructures do fall back. Got heroic charge, charging away. Does gain some bit of skirmish damage, and do have officer artillery now running on in. Warframe half-tracks, maybe eyeing to hit the retreat path. Not sure where they're actually landing. Oh, gains good damage here across both players. Good barrage there. Got these forces pushing way forward, eyeing for a flank. Of course, now got the 2 Panthers now pulling the field. They can perhaps hit this force that's advancing. Now you got the creeping barrage being brought on in right there. Did the captain just go down? Yeah, the captain just went down there. Warframe Barrage is pushing a little way forward. It's good damage here. The mortar emplacement may go down, though it's not really that important at this moment in time. There's of course a dropped weapon here. Not sure what weapon it is. I think it's Hiet. Could be a Bren. Warframe and Half Track find another barrage in this region as well. Does finish with the mortar Half Track, and the HQ command truck severely wounded. Barrage charge has been activated. Does go into the button, but blitz away. The dudes receive a bit of damage there, and these guys do need to fall back. Does blitz the other one as well. And now we got another officer artillery raiding on in. Stu says hello. Team 6 should say goodbye. Now do have this command tank now pull on the field. Panther's making an advance. Maybe we'll take out this command tank. They could take out the HQ command truck as well. This point's being decaptured as well. Stu rolls and miss there. He does fall back now. Warframe, notice he's saying he's barraging this region. It has been picked up there, so some of these intersections have picked up Piets. Right now we got the command tank there. Both has a command tank. This player has 2 Fireflies as well. They should be able to gauge the Panthers now. Another Warframe barrage there. May be able to take out the retreating back squad. Does not. And does go and scorch the central point there. Fireflies making an advance. Gives a hits there on the Panthers. Intersections do force back the Panzer Grenadier. These sappers do not get any shots off. Grenadiers do not blow it on out. And the southern point is being recaptured by the Wehrmacht player. And there's a bit of damage there. More artillery rounds raining on in. And this player, of course, does need to bring in the HQ command truck. More artillery raining on in. Good shot there onto the Panther. Warframe and Barrage raining on in. He does eventually see 3 on light vehicles. Lieutenant trying to repair the point. He may be successful. The squad does get forced back. I hear what sounds like more Fireflies, but sounds something a bit heavier. Okay, that's just Stu. That's what I heard. Parapackers do take out this Firefly. And this other one is trying to get repaired or not. Firefly and Command Carmel making their advance. Panther here is severely damaged. Stu has a bit of health to work with. And rolls a bounce on the Firefly. Factor 8 now trying to hit the Firefly. Main gun destroyed the crit there. Good hit there onto the Firefly. Panther needs to stay his distance as well. Got hit there on the command tank. Patrick rolls a miss. Patrick rolls a hit. And here goes Warframe Barrage to pick up the command tank. Rolls a miss there. More Warframens raining on in. Team 6 push away forward, trying to gauge the Pack 38. Giga Panzer getting a great hit there. Tiger tank, unvetted. Let's see now. British player number 1 has this player has a massive reserve of munitions, plenty of fuel for the rest of the game, just needs more manpower, and a HQ command truck. His teammate has no resources stored up, so that is very, very important. Hansley player does have a small reserve of manpower, good reserve of munitions, and he's been consuming his fuel quite nicely in 2-2s, looks like. Got a button vehicle there. Incendiary grenade has connected. And his teammate right now does have very little reserve resources. Has a small float of fuel, but that's about it. Definitely needs to get efficiency. Does have efficiency 1 as Tiger tank now. And now the Tiger tank is once again button. Those forces are just getting repaired up. Another incendiary grenade has been thrown. And more Warframens are raining on in. Oh, there goes that squad. Or lieutenant. This Cromwell, a little bit, or Command Cromwell's a little bit forward. Doesn't see a lot of damage there. Fireflies have plenty of health as well. Panthers are getting battered. I don't know if there's any repair bunks at the moment. There are section 2 repair bunks back here, trying to repair up the Warframe half tracks. Tiger Tank does get his engine critted. His Pioneer's trying to repair it up. Firefly's making his advance. Panther can't support him. Grenade's been thrown, does avoid it. It does throw a Incendiary Grenade in there as well. Multiple Pantrax in now in this region, one from a Grenadier, one from a Panzer Grenadier. He does get some good hits there. Pioneer goes down to a regular Cromwell, very nice. And this Pantrax Grenadier does fall back. This Pantrax Grenadier is firing some shots there, rolls some misses. Warframe barrage running in. HQ matchup could be set up in the central point as well, but at this point it is being decaptured by the Panzer Grenadier, so we cannot set up in the sector. Trying to fall back now. Red squad has seen a bit of autocannon fire as well.
Gun crew, ready? Pack 38, ready.
HQ command truck now being pulled on out.
Being repaired,
Assassin's teammate that scorched the VP. Command truck has been dropped there. 2-2s firing away, getting a bit damaged down these infantry sections. They do both fall back. Now they've got this Cromwell in the region, pushing way forward, trying to get a shot there on these 2-2s. Does get a pen there. Panther rolls a miss. 25 pounders on a rain on in. Over here, we've got the Pantrax squad make his advance. And we've got these Panzer Grenadiers trying to push their way over here to repair up the Panther. Oops, not Fog of War. Let's see, another lieutenant being put on a field to replace his lost lieutenant. He's lost both his lieutenant and captain again. Tiger Tank is now full health, so all the Warframe half tracks. Grenadier with one Panzer captain. Oh no, two Panzer trucks there. I think one of them may have been dropped one time, so he may have picked up one. Scope Arm squad against good hits there. Tiger Tank, friendly fire. Aided the section of wiping out that squad. Does drop both Panzer tracks. And this was right forward. Got, oh boy, Warframe Heavy Barrage. One Firefly does go down. Will we see the Warframe Barrage in this region? This screams bomb me. Tiger Tank now trying to gauge these scope rifle squads. Warframe half tracks in this region, trying to rotate around. This is still a good spot for them.
In one of our forward sectors.
One Panther's a bit wounded, the other Panther's plucked in. He's making an advance, gains good at these intersections. Stu is firing some shots there as well. Panther receiving massive fire there, the other one's still blocked in. The wounded one will fall back in time. Warframe half tracks, I'm not sure where they're going at the moment. They're making their advance now, again. Wards in the Cromwell. Cromwell gets good hit there on the Panther tank. Panther Grenadiers. Panther rolls a miss there. Cromwell bit wounded. Firefly needs some good damage. Cromwell needs to fall back now. Multiple casualties are being recovered as well. And now we've got the Warframe Barrage running on in and very, very late and off target. Those forces do fall back now. Oh, 25 pounder goes down. Was that a Humo Barrage? No, that was a Stu right there. I guess the Brits are as blind as me. Stu does take out the 25 pounder, and now hitting the other two or hitting the casual plane station there. Testing for the Stukas hitting mid. They may still be on cooldown. They recently fired, but looks like they're pushing forward. And now there's here comes a Stu for some Warframe Barrage. intersection has been deployed. And gets there onto these intersection squad. Does force them back. All Warframen's are raining on in. Catch squads pushing forward, trying to get some hits there on these Fireflies. One squad does fall back, the other one is still firing away. And those are wounded. One of them's pretty wounded. Let's get it there on that intersection squad. Does run away now. Fireflies pushing forward, throw some holes there. And I guess those two Pantrix are picked up by Pioneers, unvetted. You may want to get some veterancy on the Pioneers at this point in time so they can be decent Pantrix carriers. Tiger Tanks have veterancy 2, Pack 30 pushing forward, does have veterancy 3, does lose that one Pioneer squad.
Jerry's pushed through our lines and is trying to take a victory point.
All the Warframen's are firing somewhere. And a not so great spot. Those Warframe barrages have not been good recently. It seems like there's some really good opportunities they've just not been able to take advantage of. Tiger Tank falling back, get repairs. We do have, of course, this room over here. We've got 3 repair bunkers in this region. Cromwell is seeing some cannon fire from the Panther, but does roll a bunch of misses there. Also, the player we have selected at the moment does have 8 command points. I know he's gone for artillery, but he's so far not selecting any additional abilities at the moment. 2 dudes firing away. He does have plenty of munitions as well, so he could throw a lot of officer artillery if the officers stay alive. Center point is repaired. The Brits have plenty of DPs. The Axis players are counting down. No, never mind, it's the other way around. This northern point captured up by the Axis players. I thought this point captured means it's in favor of the Brits, but I guess I was mistaken. More Warframe barrages raining on in. It does wipe out one of the squads with a nice little round. Does drop a couple of Brens there. Officers could pick it up. And just push right forward. One of the Panthers quite wounded. That one is receiving some fire there. Arm up to advance. This one needs to fall back. Just too much damage onto it. Does receive the bounce there. And the Panther squad does fall back now. Panther firing behind for another shot there. Roll, receive a pen, receive a bounce. Throws a pen there under the Cromwell. Fireflies make their advance. And incendiary grenades now being thrown out. One of the lieutenant does go down again. He's out of lieutenants. Red squad does fall back there. Pantrix squad does roll and miss there. We see the bounce there from the Pack 38. Tiger Tank and Panther could advance on forward. Warframe barrage raining on in. It's a pretty wide spread, but gets a good splash hit there. Does take another squad. It's down to one infantry section. And his casualty clear station is alive but damaged. Panther does go down to the sheer amount of Fireflies. Oh, yeah, he needs more. They need some more packs. This one does get decrewed. Times in which his teammate went for defensive of Flak 88s. Pantrix will push way forward. Does get a good hit there. Doesn't have the casualty recovered because all the casualties will be covered and drop off his teammate's casualty recover bunker. Casualty recovery bunker does go down, and looks like we'll lose from Pioneers. He drops himself a Piet. Scope Barber Squad could pick that up. Fireflies push forward. We got the HQ command truck here, unable to redeploy thanks to the munitions point being captured by the Panzer Grenadier. And that is an air burst barrage raining on in. Warframen's eyeing for a barrage somewhere. Does raining up behind there. Does get the damage onto this sector. Does get this sector locked down.
The clear point is being overrun.
Flanking Pounder received quite a bit of damage right there as well. Airburst rounds running in. And now we've got the command tank slowly creeping its way forward. Patrick disconnects, scorches the central point. This will solve the game. Barrage rating a little bit short there, and you've got sector artillery now being brought on in as well. Scope Arm squad advancing on forward. 2-2s engage in these forces. Patrick squad could hit the Fireflies. Does get a hit there. And one of the 2-2s to go down. Let's take a look at everybody's resources. This bird has plenty of munitions, a small reserve of manpower, enough fuel for the rest of the game and for the next. His teammate has a good reserve of munitions, a good reserve of manpower, and enough fuel for the rest of the game. And may have a lot of high explosives right on their head. These forts all need repairs now. I've got the Fireflies advancing along the flank. Tiki Panzer has full health. Kumo does not go down, nor does the Panther. These Fireflies have plenty of health to work with as well. The Panzer player does have a small reserve of manpower, small reserve of munitions, and plenty of fuel. And his teammate right now has scraping the bottom of the barrel, barring fuel. He has a small reserve there. Fireflies take a bit of damage there. Sector artillery rolls a miss. After trying to find a hit, the Airburst round does connect and does fall back now. Multiple Pack 38s make the advance, so is Panzerstrex. He does have a 4-man squad upgrade now. He throws some scenic grenades into that slit trench. Does get a hit there. And ooh, that entire squad went down very quickly. Wolfman Barrage now raining back on here. Does take up the Stewart. Gets up that. Nope, that squad does stay alive for now. Now do we have infantry? Time for the Grenadiers being Peru. He does have access to the Panzer Command as well. He does have efficiency 3 tanks, so he could apply some of his own Panthers. I don't think Panzer IV this time, as much as I like to see Panzer IVs, at this time there's too many Fireflies and Panzer IVs to do some good work, so going for a Panther wouldn't hurt. He does not have the assault, boom armory, so can't get out Stugs.
Pioneers ready for duty. Do you need any construction?
Grand squad getting a bit damaged there onto the Volks Grenadiers. And as Brent squad does fall back, Scope Rifle squad and Brent squad are moving forward. Regular Chromo in this region, fresh one. So the point still is Scorch. Two's making an advance with some Panzerstrex as well. Wolfram and Barrage tying the rain on in. City Panthers are going down. Firefly may go down as well. Firefly main gun destroyed, engine destroyed. Now all only left is to be destroyed. Does lose one of the Panzer squads, however. And the command tank does get +1 efficiency if I saw it correctly. Panther's severely wounded. He's down to one Panther, Hummel. Oh no, that's a Martyr. Hummel right here. I'm not sure why he went for a Martyr. Martyr's an unusual choice at this time. I can see a light ATF check for crits. Intersection trying to repair up the central VP, but receiving Hummel fire, so one well placed shot and they're dead. Tiger tank advancing forward. Martyr could aid him. We got multiple Cromwells here, as well as the Firefly. Command tank is efficiency 2. Each command truck's almost down. Cromwells are probably not going to have amount of heavy armor they're fighting. As much as I like to see them. And does lose one of the Cromwells to the Wolfram Barrage. It does get a good number of models crushed there, be out of control. Does get interrupted in repairing there, so it does start over. Tiger tank could finish off the HQ command truck. Panther seeing some pairs. Can't get some damage there. Creeping Barrage not being cast on in. Martyr. is running away from the creeping barrage. Over here, you have Cromwell and Fireflies advancing forward. Kendrick does connect with the Firefly. Does get a good hit there. And one, oh, no, does go only get main gun short crit there, not death crit. Gobark squad advancing forward. See if the damage there does fall back now. Does take out one of the Fireflies. Very nice. That was the wounded one. Carmel tank blitz his way forward. Does get some crush there, forcing back the Grenadiers. Extra squad advancing forward. The HQ Mantrix is now damaged, and now it's destroyed entirely. Good damage there onto this Cromwell, trying to blitz him forward once more. Pioneer Mantrix does fall back in time, and the Cromwell does go down. I just push it forward with the support of a Martyr. Rolls and miss there, trying to hit down that Firefly. Did that go down one shot? I could have sworn that was at full health. Artillery now raining on in. Instructions trying to repair up the central VP. Act 38 severely damaged. Brent squad decapitated that cutoff point. Good damage there.
Its superiority once again.
He's saying the Wehrmacht player or the Panzer player saying he's going to go for more Panthers. His teammate is going to go for nice crossholders. He does have Special 63 on his infantry, so that is a possibility. Upon a necessity, now do got the stun grenades being thrown. Or maybe not. Incendiary grenade has been thrown. That is quick forward to hit these forces. The Panther severely wounded. It does get fought from there. Wolf Barrage in this region could be useful, but he looks like he heals the Panther. Next grenade gets a slit trench, but they get burned down by their own grenade. Another Panther squad could tag them out, does tag them out, and does fall back there. This would be very hard for the British players to clear out this slit trench. And now more Panthers being deployed on field. Now got War from Barrage raining on in, gains some good damage here. Not sure if the central PP was still scorched or it has been re-scorched. Either way, it is scorched. The amount of Fireflies in this area, as was a Cromwell and Command Cromwell. Command Cromwells. So there's a large number of Fireflies that poured away the armor, but all these Fireflies are actually quite wounded. At least for one of the players. The other two are okay. Not too great though. I think now see a bit of fire there, trying to hit the PN squad. As Crossbow is advancing up forward. The Panzer player does have a bit of resources to work with. Manpower, munitions. His teammate still a bit low, but he has access to the manpower blitz now. Been bought for quite some time. Most Grenadiers do fall back. This British player is still not really using his command points. We get out another HQ command truck. His teammate has been spending his resources. Cromwell's blitz on forward, and here more artillery raining on in. Looks like Nate took out another vehicle. And looks like, oh no, looks like all the British HQ command trucks have gone down. This player needs another HQ command truck. They're right now out. He's overpopped. So his teammate. Grenadier squad does fall back. Oh, and that Ren squad does get a good hit. Receive a good hit.
Overwatch abilities have been passed down the line. Aren't you able to cover kills for us?
HQ command truck trying to drive his way forward. Maybe just go for a safe spot rather than a most opportune spot. Because right now, he's been losing a large number of HQ command trucks. His teammate has another HQ command truck as well. He thinks his teammate should blow out Axe and Knight's crossholders. Takes out a semi-counter there, very nice. And there's the HQ command truck, and they go from 40 population up to 79. And it looks like the Brits are casting GG. The players back out the game. Let's go and fast forward because the game is over. Really round in. Since these guys are just not here anymore, it's just a shooting gallery. Huh. Oh, there we go. Oh, either way, that is the end of the replay. This is Antigrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. So, as I mentioned beforehand, that is going to be our last replay for tonight. So, everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good evening.